The cold snap here is pretty relentless. We're looking at a max of 5 or 6 degrees in the day and as low as -4 at night, and it's rarely getting above freezing at night. So I was hoping that I would be able to switch the heating off again by now, but it's not happening. So it's a week today since I switched the heating on. I switched the heating on last Thursday night, and it's now Thursday day. So I've been monitoring my readings to get an idea of how much this is costing me extra on my bills. Now I've completely discounted the standing charge and the VAT. I'm looking purely at how many kilowatts I am using. I've got my boiler set to 60. I did have it on 55, but I've decided to put it onto 60. My thermostat is set between 14 and 15. I think it's 14 because the thermometer that I have in my front room doesn't quite hit 15 on any night. The heating comes on at 5 and it goes off at 10:30 because I tend to go to bed at 11. And with those low, even with those low heating temperatures, those extra few degrees make a huge difference. I've got the heating on I've got one radiator on in my front room, I've got the radiator on in the bathroom, and I've got the radiator on in the bedroom. And I've got those fully opened up. And still using my my hot water bottle, which I've been using for a while now, so that's part of my standard gas use since October. I can get an accurate idea of how much my heating is costing me versus normal gas usage, because I mostly cook on my gas hob. Obviously heating hot water for my thermos flasks for hot drinks, and for my hot water bottle, that's kind of like standard gas usage for this time of year. So I took some meter readings and I've tried to work out how much I'm using. So the previous 13 days before I switched the heating on, and it's 13 days because I did my meter readings are done on the 11th of the month. In my normal usage for 13 days, I would use 4 kilowatts of gas. So that covers, as I say, the gas hob, heating hot water for drinks, heating hot water for hot water bottles, and the boiler has been off completely, so there's no electricity usage for that as well. So that would mean that in a normal day I was using 0.307 kilowatts of gas per day in a 24-hour period. That was costing me, because my kilowatt rate with my energy provider, who is Outfox the Market, is currently 6.79 pence per kilowatt. So that means that I was using 27.16 pence of gas per day per 24-hour period. With the heating on, it's pretty much doubled my kilowatt usage. So I've done my meter readings for the last 7 days with the heating, and whereas before, in the 13 days before, it was 4 kilowatts, the last 7 days is 8 kilowatts. So it's not a double spend, but it is more. So the last 7 days I've used 8 kilowatts. So that's all the things that I would normally use. So the hot water, the gas hob, the water for the hot water bottle, plus having the heating on between 5 and 10:30 every evening. Which means that my gas usage is now costing me 54.32 pence per day. The temperatures we're having now are pretty much what I would expect to go through most of the weather now until next spring. So there's no reason why my boiler will have to change. So coming on at 5, going on at 10:30, thermostat at 15 or 14, boiler set to 60. That's what I've always done. The only difference is, of course, that this is how it happened earlier than last year. Last year we had that horrible cold snap of -8, -10, and that kicked in on, I think it was the 6th of December. So gas usage has started 3 weeks earlier than last year, and it's just because it's absolutely perishing. So what I can now do, using these numbers, I can work out how much extra per month my gas is likely to be. Now, because I've only put it on a few weeks earlier, I don't think it's going to make a huge difference to my projected figures. I need to wait and see what my next full month reading is, which will be the 11th of December, to work out how much it's going to be, certainly up to the beginning of January, because of course the prices have just gone down for October, and there's been some extra discounts from Outfox the Market. But also in January, Ofgem are putting the prices up again. So it's all changed again. So it's very hard to predict what's going to be spent and what isn't. But at least I know now, at the moment, how much extra I'm spending on gas to stay warm. And the difference is 27, 37, 47. It's less than 30 pence a day to heat my home. But that is the actual gas usage. Let's take out the thieving that is the standing charge, because I can't change any of that regardless of gas usage. I'm not going to worry about the VAT. This is literally down to what I actually physically use. So it's costing me about an extra 30p a day. What that actually means is that my dual fuel bill is going to go up by about £8 a month for heating. I don't think that's too bad. I'm not living in comfort, but I'm not going to die of cold. And I've been living like this pretty much since I moved into this property, because it's been the first time since forever in my entire life that I've had full control over what I spend on my gas and electric from a usage point of view. So since I moved in, I put rules in straight away about how much I wanted to spend, and you work with what you've got. So I've always set my heating and my boiler to this routine. This has not really changed. It's really about the fact that the routine stayed the same, but it now costs more because obviously energy's gone through the roof, and there's not much I can do about that. But anyway, so those are my calculations. I hope that makes some sort of sense. It kind of makes sense to me. But of course, once my next bill comes through, and once every bill comes through, it gives you a better idea of what is actually being spent, because these are just approximations where the meter readings will be more exact and the things spent will be more exact. But it gives me a rough idea what's going on. I could do this with a smart meter. I don't want a smart meter, and I'm happy to do my own calculations because I like working like this. It's taken me, 15 minutes of my day to work that out, big deal, and then record the video for you. So I'm quite happy doing this the manual way. That's why I have meters and a calculator and a pen and a piece of paper. I don't need a smart meter to work this out, and I don't need that kind of energy anxiety of having something sitting there on the shelf telling me how much over I'm going to spend, and me trying to work out, can I cut down on my heating an hour a day to save a few extra pence. I don't need that in my life. I don't think it's helpful. So that's my update on energy. That is probably where it's going to be now for me until the boiler goes off again in spring, or as soon as the temperatures start to climb a bit. But of course prices will change, so I will probably review this again once my next meter reading comes through, because it'll give me an idea. And of course I will be away for Christmas, so that's a week to 2 weeks where pretty much everything's off in the flat anyway, so there won't be any gas usage whatsoever because everything will be switched off at the wall and I won't be here to use any of it. So that always keeps the post-Christmas, the January bill down, because obviously I do my meter readings on the 11th of the month. So my January readings will be a bit lower because, you know, there's a couple of weeks where I'm not going to be around at all. And then of course 1st of January it all kicks off again when the prices go up. So that's my update. That's it for now.